a-hole video. I love doing these so much because they're just so juicy and messy, honestly. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Exactly. So I'm really excited. I saved up a bunch of good ones. I think I honestly saved these like quite some time ago, like 3 weeks ago, so I feel like I saved some good ones, but I don't exactly remember, so hopefully they're good. Yeah, that's all I got to say for the intro. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay, the first one is kind of messy, and it says, am I the a-hole for telling my friend she is ungrateful about being a stay-at-home mom? Excuse you. Anyway, I usually give my verdict, but honestly, we're just gonna read it and we'll give our verdict at the end. The other day, I went to lunch with 4 mom friends of mine. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so is one of the other moms. Of the other 3, 1 works part-time and the other 2 full-time. One of the moms that works full-time mentioned how they had started to pay for a cleaner to come in every other week. They both work full-time and have 2 kids and were finding they couldn't keep up with all the chores. Okay. The other stay-at-home mom was agreeing with her about finding it difficult to keep the house clean when her husband does only a few chores inside the house. She told us her husband's main job are cooking dinner, cleaning the bathrooms, and looking after the yard. In my opinion, that's a more than fair distribution of chores considering her husband works full-time. They have 1 child, 10, and no pets. I mentioned to her that it actually sounded pretty fair and that my husband has 0 cleaning chores and mostly only cooks on the weekends if he wants. I told her, as he works full-time to provide for our family, I consider it my job to do the majority of the household chores. This isn't gender related in my opinion. If we both worked, I would agree about splitting chores equally. Or if I worked and he did it, I would be expecting him to do the majority of the housework. I have 5 children. Oh my god. The youngest 2 aren't in school. Oh my god. And I'm a carer for my husband's grandmother. Oh my god. Yet still it's easy to set aside a couple of hours a day for household chores. Girl. Okay. She strongly disagreed with me and she thinks her husband should be doing more and told me couples are supposed to play the housework equally. I told her that I think she's being ungrateful to her husband who allows her to be a stay-at-home mom even now their child is older. I asked her what she does all day, if she expects him to do half the chores and that she just wants an excuse to be lazy. Oh girl, nobody asked you. Calm down. In the end, lunch was ruined. She called me anti-feminist and an a-hole. 2 of our friends took her side, telling me off for judging her. Was I the a-hole here? I feel like I was pointing out the obvious. Honestly, whether you were right or not in what you said, I really don't know that it was even your place to even say anything, if I'm being honest. I don't know, I feel like every household is different. Some people that just works clearly for her household, it just works for her to do everything. But maybe for their household, it just doesn't work. And that's really not anybody's place to say what's right or wrong with someone else's household, you know? I don't know, I do think that, I don't know, you guys, I'm really conflicted about this one just simply because being a parent is a full-time job. Like, it is so hard, especially when you have kids that are young. Oh my god, I don't know how adults do it. I'm an adult, but like, I just can't imagine how stressful that is, especially if you have more than 1 kid. Like, that is just a level of stress that I could never comprehend. And yes, he is working all day, but so is she by being a full-time mom, you know? Like, it's never an easy job. I don't know. I really don't think I have the right to speak here because 1, it's not my household, and 2, I don't have kids, so I'm just gonna mind my business and have no opinion on this one. But let's read what other people think. Okay, so someone said, in quotations, 2 of our friends took her side, telling me off for judging her. You were judging her, both of you stay-at-home moms have individual arrangements with your husbands that more or less work for each of you, which is what I said too. Yours seem to mesh quite nicely with your personal values about how work should be split up between you and your husband, but rather than accepting that hers is different, you compared yourself to her and conveyed your own moral superiority by calling her ungrateful. You're the a-hole. I feel like this type of thing is very similar to like the parent debate, you know, like some people feel like certain parenting styles are wrong or whatever, but then some people are like, okay, well, that's just what works for me and my household. I feel like as long as there's no like abuse involved, you know, like who can really say, like I feel like it's just one of those situations where you just really gotta mind your own business and be like, just be that friend that's like smiling and nodding and like, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna say that I have no opinion on this one. Let's just move on. Alright, this one's short but petty, and I love a good petty moment, so let's read it real quick. It says, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my sister use my Netflix account after she kicked me out of her wedding? Honestly, no, you're not, because I'm a petty Betty, especially when it comes to my siblings, because I have sisters, only sisters, so you can imagine the level of petty that goes on in this house. And honestly, I would probably do the same thing. So, no, you're not. Let's just read it though. Okay, it says, hey Reddit, I need your judgment on this family drama. So my sister, 28-year-old female, recently got married, and it was a whole extravagant affair. Now I, 25-year-old male, was initially supposed to be the best man, but long story short, she kicked me out of the wedding party last minute because she thought my speech would be inappropriate. Okay, I really don't think that that's a good reason to, I mean, I guess it's your day and you can do whatever you want with your day, so like, it's really her decision, but at the same time, I get why he's upset because that's kind of like not a good reason to kick him out of the whole wedding. I don't know. Am I being dumb? Right? I mean, it's her wedding. At the end of the day, it is her wedding, so like she can do whatever she wants, I guess. But now here's where it gets tricky. My sister and her new husband are both financially stable, while I'm still struggling a bit. I've been paying for my own Netflix subscription for years, and honestly, it's my little escape from reality. Fast forward to the post-wedding fallout, and my sister has the audacity to ask me if she can use my Netflix account because she and her husband need some entertainment during these stressful times. I feel like the sister is like really out of touch. Like what? Okay. I was taken aback by the nerve, and I flat out refused. I told her that if she can afford a fancy wedding, she can afford a Netflix subscription. She got upset, called me petty, and now the whole family is divided. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for not sharing my Netflix with my newly wed sister who kicked me out of her wedding? Honestly, it was petty. It was a petty blow. But I can't really judge you because I'm a petty Betty myself. I love a good petty move, especially when it comes to siblings, because I don't know, I feel like your siblings can just really argue more than anything in the world. Like, it's harder for me to forgive my siblings for things than it is to forgive a random person, which is such a strange concept because it's your family, but your siblings hit a very specific nerve. They do. I get it. I really do. And honestly, you know what? I'm proud of you. I don't think it was wrong, but maybe that's just me being blinded by the sibling rivalry. Let's just read some comments. I couldn't find a really good comment, but most of the comments are like just clowning. And one of the comments said the speech was about to be about his family leeching off his Netflix account. Honestly, do what you gotta do. I support you. I really do. This is coming from a middle child. I support you. Let's move on. Oh my god. god, y'all, this one is long and messy. So it says, am I the a-hole for wanting to throw in the towel after my husband got a ride from his mistress in quotations? Girl. So it says, to start, I honestly feel really uncomfortable asking strangers' opinion about something so personal, but I don't know anyone else who could give me an unbiased opinion. We live near his family while mine is half a country away. In addition to that, I only really know his friends. I have a couple of my own, but of course mine support me while his do the same for him. Shocking, I know. This is going to be a lot to follow, so please bear with me. Okay, y'all, buckle up. So my husband and I have a rough relationship. It's honestly possible it has been a mess since it began, but I only really noticed after I had my child a few years back. It ramped up even more once I started going to therapy. What I thought was just PPD was apparently just emotional abuse from my husband. My therapist helped me point this out. Gaslighting, breaking things out of anger, lying, triangulation, financial manipulation. I begged him to go to therapy as well, and he said it was a waste of time and money, and therapy doesn't help people. Followed up with, this is just how I am, and people can't change. Okay. He did eventually go to couples therapy, but he acts like a child when he asks any questions. If you've seen a teenager getting scolded, you could probably picture his behavior. This guy is a red flag. Overly relaxed, eye-rolling, uttering disinterest written all over his face. He said multiple times, I just think this is stupid, or I don't know, I'm just here because you want me here. And if I hear, I forget, or are you sure? I don't think it happened like that. One more time, I might scream until my lungs burst. Anyway, back to the point. He began chatting with a girl from the gym over IG. He calls her H. If a man ever has a girl in his phone that's not a family member and it's just a letter or initials, no, because he's anticipating you finding that contact, and then he doesn't want you to look her up, because men know that women are investigators and we will find her, and that's why it's just an initial. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Don't do it, girl. They talk every single day. Sometimes they were very sexual memes, gifts, and suggestive messages. Yes, it is unhealthy to go through his phone, 100%. I own that. But to be fair, he has given me multiple reasons in the past to suspect he might be having intimate conversations over the internet again. This girl also has a boyfriend and saw these. We can call him X. X works for the same gym. He was not happy about this. In short, X told my husband he is no longer welcome to that gym. Now my husband goes to a different gym, one that X's ex-wife works out at. Wait, what? So X's ex-wife works at the gym that her husband now goes to. Okay. My husband and her start talking too. Oh my god. In the gym and over IG while he is still talking to H. X soon accuses my husband of trying to pull a fast one by sending these flirty messages to his current girlfriend while also hooking up with his ex-wife. After hearing these accusations, I tell him to cut contact with all of them. He reluctantly agrees. I honestly didn't think much about it at first. I thought X was just jealous. I told my husband his flirtatious behavior got him into this mess. He stopped talking to X and we didn't hear from X again, but he continued to talk to the ex-wife. I told him I was uncomfortable with it multiple times, but that seemed to only make him be more obvious about it. Messaging her while I was around and mentioning seeing her at the gym. Y'all, if a man ever disrespect me like this, I'm the type of person where I do not deal with disrespect in a relationship, including like cheating and like just all forms of disrespect. Like I am so quick to be like, I'm done, which may be a bad trait, I don't know, but like this is just so disrespectful. Like you have a kid with this person, like what are you doing? I can't. Then the very next morning after having one of these conversations conversations, he gets a ride from her. He needed a ride and I was at work. He could have called his mom, dad, siblings, or literally any other person, but he calls her. He didn't even try anyone else, just went straight to asking her. So she gives him a ride home. I wasn't due to be home for another 5 hours. He even called me and told me he got the ride from her. Me, long pause. Are you kidding me? Of all people, you decided to call her. Him, nonchalantly. I don't see what the big deal is. Me, another long pause. I'm going to hang up right now because I'm too angry to speak and I don't want to say anything I don't mean. Him, whatever, you're so dramatic. Bye. Okay, he's trying to die. Do I think anything happened? I don't. Girl, be so for real. I need you to use those context clues, babe. I need you to use those context clues, girlie. What are you doing? Do I think anything happened? I don't know. But the not knowing frustrates me even more because I can't trust he's being honest with me. Once I got home, I said I didn't feel like arguing, so I stayed relatively quiet, engaging in small talk, but that was it. He continued to act like nothing was wrong, telling me how lonely he was all day. He was on the fence of innocence and kept repeating, "What's wrong? You seem upset." He's literally like trying to provoke her. I swear this man wants a divorce. Like, he just doesn't want to be the one to say it, so he's trying to do everything to like make her be the one to do it, so that way it's her fault. And I said I didn't feel like talking about it, but he pushed and pushed and pushed more, and eventually we had an argument when I got home. There's more, of course, but writing all of this was emotionally exhausting. I'll fill in the rest later. Hope this wasn't too confusing. For anyone who made it this far, thank you for listening. And do you think I'm the a-hole? There's also an edit that says, I stay because he has threatened to take my child multiple times. He has told me if I ever leave, he will make sure I never see them again. This is literally abuse. His family is very well off, whereas I don't have much money. They would certainly provide him with the best lawyer possible. I'd rather stay so that I can still be with my child, even if things are bad sometimes. Okay, so at first I was like, what is she doing? Like, why is she just acting like oblivious? But this is a full-blown like DV situation. Like, this is a domestic situation, and I literally pray that this person gets like the help that they need, because this is so messed up. Like, this is so freaking messed up. Like, all the red flags. I don't even want to read comments on this one because this is just messed up. I really pray that this person like gets help and gets out and leaves this man, because he's trash. Just trash. Let's move on. Okay, so this one says, my wife cheated and I let someone close to her know. Am I the a-hole? Sounds messy. Let's read it. Okay, so this next one says, am I the a-hole for not telling my ex-wife I got married again? I don't know, are you guys married? Or do you have kids? Like, I don't know, does it really matter? Does it? I don't know, let's read it. I, 28-year-old male, was married to my ex-wife for 2 years before we divorced because I realized I was gay, okay? I had been out as bi from age 16 and I knew I liked men, but also liked women. However, I realized when I was 24 that I didn't like women. So I told my wife I wanted a divorce, but said I was happy to co-parent our 1-year-old, and she agreed. Okay, so you do have kids, so... We both lived in London until recently. I moved to Switzerland to live with my now husband, and we got married there. I didn't invite my wife as she had a new boyfriend who me and our little boy don't like, and I knew he would definitely say something homophobic at my wedding. Okay. I have complete custody of our son as he wants to live with me, and my ex agreed. Now our son was at the wedding and looked so smart, so I sent photos to my ex, and she started messaging me and calling me, telling me I was so rude for not inviting her or even telling her, and she said that she wanted our son back with her. I said no, and now all our family are messaging me saying I'm an a-hole and should have told her. I don't know if I am or not. Note, the agreement about custody was in court, and she knew at the time I had a fiance, so I don't know what she was expecting to happen in the future. Okay. Honestly, I really don't know what to say about this. I feel like you don't. She knew that you were engaged, so like, yes, what does she expect? And if her husband is, or if her boyfriend is homophobic and would have like made your day not as special, I guess you don't really owe her anything. I mean, I guess you could have told her, you could have told her maybe, but like, maybe just tell her, but don't invite her. I really don't know. I feel like it's like, I get both sides. I do get both sides. I get why she's upset because, whatever, but like, I also get why you didn't tell her. I don't know, y'all could let me know, because I don't know. Moving on. Okay, I've actually read this one before, but it was so good. It was just so good. So let's read it. So it says, am I the a-hole for switching to regular milk to prove my lactose intolerant roommate keeps stealing from me? Okay. Me and two other guys share an apartment together, and we split all the bills. The only thing we don't split cost on is groceries. Everyone's in charge of buying their own food, and we don't touch whatever doesn't belong to us in the fridge. We put our names on everything so no one gets mixed up. The issue has been going on almost a year, and I'm sick of it. One of our roommates, R, we'll call him R, keeps stealing my food. I get home from work, and the containers with the leftovers are sometimes missing. They have my name written on it, or my stuff finishes too quickly. Y'all, there is nothing worse in this world than getting home and like being so ready for your leftovers and just so excited about it and thinking about it all day, because honestly, let's be real, sometimes leftovers are literally better than the actual like first day, so there's nothing worse than just being so ready for your leftovers and like ready to eat, and you get home and they're gone. Like, that would literally be my 13th reason. My gallon of milk, for example, I buy almond milk because I like the taste, but it seems to finish after a week, even though I've only drank once or twice. Now, I comforted R about this a lot of times, and that's caused a lot of arguments. He outright denies it and tells me I'm crazy, even though it's so obvious. My other roommate and I carpool together because we both work the same early morning shifts around the same area, so I know it's not him. It's always after we get back home and R's already left for work that I notice my food's gone. My roommates also had a similar problem, but not as often as I do. I'm guessing because R doesn't like what they buy. The funny thing is, R buys a lot for himself and is even more stingy about his food. He will literally point out what's his when he comes back from the grocery shopping and tells us not to touch it. Last week, my milk was nearly empty again, and I got fed up. I went to the liquor store and I bought regular dairy milk. I drank what was left of my almond milk and refilled the gallon with the one that I bought. So he finished the almond milk container and put the whole milk in the almond milk container. Messy. I love that for you. This was to catch/prove that R is the one stealing, since he's lactose intolerant. The next day, Saturday, we get back from work and R is pissed. He yelled at me that he was stuck in the bathroom for 40 minutes with diarrhea because of my milk. He was using it to make a shake. I only responded with, "So then you're the one who's been stealing." He freaking exploded. Yeah, he admitted he was sometimes drinking my milk and eating my food, but he was more mad that I switched milks than the fact that he was caught. I told him I wouldn't have done that if he had just stopped taking my stuff from the fridge, or at least told the truth instead of trying to make it seem like I was making it up. My roommate backed me up and thought it was kind of funny he got payback for stealing from us. It's a little tense right now, and my roommate told me R is trying to convince him to agree to kick me out. Little does he know we're both looking to move somewhere else together because we are sick of his stuff. I told somebody what happened, and if you think I was an a-hole for that, I feel like I'm not in the wrong here. He was taking my food and not even owning up to it, and I wanted to prove it. Does that make me the a-hole? No. I feel like maybe it would have made you the a-hole if you didn't ask. But you did ask, and he lied. And even then, like, he's the one that's stealing. Like, but you did ask, and he lied. And on top of that, they said that he's extremely, like, anal about his own stuff and, like, super, like, stingy with his own stuff. So, like, how are you gonna be overly stingy with your own stuff and then steal everybody else's stuff and then lie about it when they ask you? Like, come on now. No, you're not the a-hole. He's the a-hole for stealing. And now he'll know that he shouldn't touch other people's things. Let's read some comments. Someone said, not the a-hole. As you said, if Art wasn't stealing your food, he wouldn't have had a problem. Exactly. Someone else said, how dare you make me face the consequences of my own actions. Someone said, imagine a thief is used to burglarizing a home because all he had to do is put the chihuahua to break in, and then suddenly one day it gets replaced with a Rottweiler, and the thief then complains to the homeowner how dare they get a new flesh-tearing dog, basically his roommate. The comments are so good. Another comment said, 10 out of 10, malicious compliance almost. You can do whatever you want with your milk, like put it in another container. Massive, not the a-hole. The comments are so good. Someone else said, stealing food when you have an allergy is especially dumb. Honestly, yeah. Someone else said, not the a-hole. You can tell him you could have done something much worse, like peeing in the milk or putting vinegar in it. Instead, you went a somewhat more mature way by buying real dairy milk. True. He could have gone really nasty with it, so I guess he's lucky. Yeah, you guys, that's messy. Anyway, my loves, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Lighting is weird today. It's like raining, so the clouds are like moving and everything is shifting. Just ignore her, okay? I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you thought of some of these situations. I kind of wanted to make this video longer, but I didn't save as many as I thought I did. So next one will be longer, I promise. But I love you guys, and I'll see all of you in my next one. Bye.